staying in central Manama at the moment. It's about 12 kilometres away from the track, which is down to the south. And we were told before we got here to Bahrain that that we wouldn't see much, and you don't really unless you go looking for it, or unless you're very unlucky, which is what the Force India mechanics who were caught up in that this weekend on Thursday. But normally there'd be PR events in town, and meet the fans, that sort of thing. And certainly, as far as I'm aware, there aren't any of those happening. And that's just one example of how this race weekend has differed from others.
The British government has been helping Bahrain in its the regime in controlling the people.
The dictatorship in Bahrain, yes.
And there's a senior British policeman giving advice, John Yates.
There is, yes.
I wonder what your opinion is about Britain.
Well, it's an absolute disgrace, because Bahrain used to be a British colony, and the British government should say an end to dictatorship, and there should be a representative government in Bahrain which the majority of people support.
So why is the British government actually supplying arms and police?
I suppose they're supplying all these things because of oil and the massive military American naval base there is there.
Thank you. Your name, please, sir?
Stan.
Thank you, Stan. The British government has been supplying Bahrain with weapons, and there's a senior policeman there, John Yates, threatening to use live ammunition. How can you explain that British are doing this?
Because the British government does what the Americans tell them. The British government are poodles. The American says jump, the British government jumps, and the Americans have got naval bases in Bahrain, and so the British government does exactly as it's told. It lost its independence years ago.
Thank you, sir.
I think Britain is very proud of its arms trade. And, it's been selling weapons to all manner of countries that it shouldn't be. And I think this is the reason, as far as I know.
Well, until a few years ago, actually, the British, then Bahraini police was headed by a British officer, actually. And the British, then Bahraini police, the entire Bahraini police is under supervision by the British ex-commissioner, police commissioners, or whatever. That just shows that the British government follows a double standard. In some areas of the world, they make all the fuss that they want to. For instance, what is happening in Bahrain, at least 15 people have been killed. 15 people out of under 1 million population, which is equal to, let's say, 10,000 people of China. If 2 people in China are killed, then you see all the media going berserk.
Can you explain why the British are involved in this manner?
Money and oil, I suspect. I don't know, really in detail about those things, but if Britain gets involved, it's normally because they're going to make some money, or there's something in the future. Tony Blair and Colonel Gaddafi held meetings. There's something in that.
There's something to gain from the UK by doing that, whether it's money or whether it's political favours in the future, diplomatic ties, first choice on oil, contracts for rebuilding work. Libya was flattened, Tripoli was flattened, but there's British and American contractors out there rebuilding it, which benefits the big, large corporate companies in the UK. So.
Whichever direction Bahrain may be heading, the West seems to be looking the other way, no matter how high the cost for this island's people.